What if the things you thought were your weaknesses are actually signs of an extremely high IQ? Most people picture a genius as someone loud, confident, always with the right answer. But psychology tells a very different story. Researchers who study intelligence say it's rarely about how much you know. It's about how your brain processes the world around you. And that processing, it shows up in quiet, everyday habits most people completely overlook. Here are 10 habits surprisingly common in people with extremely high IQ. 1. Solitude feels like a need, not a choice. Most people recharge through socializing. High IQ individuals often recharge by being alone, not because they dislike people, but because their brain is constantly working through ideas. A study from the London School of Economics found that highly intelligent people actually feel less satisfied with frequent social interaction. Their mind simply needs quiet space to think. 2. They notice things others scroll past. A high IQ brain is constantly scanning for patterns. The way someone worded a message, a small inconsistency in a story, a detail nobody else caught. This isn't paranoia, it's deep pattern recognition running in the background all the time. 3. They ask uncomfortable questions, not just big philosophical ones, small, everyday ones too. Why does this system work this way? Why do people assume that? Curiosity isn't just a personality trait for them, it's a cognitive engine that never really switches off. 4. They talk to themselves. It sounds odd, but psychologists call it self-directed speech, and it's actually a sign of strong cognitive function. Talking through your own thinking improves focus, organizes memory, and sharpens decisions. The brain isn't rambling, it's working. 5. They're comfortable saying, "I don't know." Here's one most people get backwards. Less knowledgeable people tend to overestimate what they know. This is well documented in psychology, but highly intelligent people do the opposite. The smarter the brain, the more aware it becomes of how much complexity actually exists in the world. 6. They overthink the small stuff. An analytical brain doesn't have an off switch. The same mental process that solves complex problems also dissects a text message, replays a conversation, or analyzes a decision from 5 different angles. From the outside, it can look like anxiety or indecision. From the inside, it's a brain running multiple models at once. Here's something worth sitting with for a sec. How many of these have you been told are flaws? Too quiet, too curious, too much in your head? Sometimes what looks like a weakness is just a brain wired different. This one surprises people. Highly intelligent individuals don't treat their beliefs like a personal identity. They treat them like working theory. New evidence arrives and the model updates. No ego attached. Psychologists call this cognitive flexibility, and it's one of the strongest markers of advanced thinking. Many high IQ individuals report that their mind comes alive after dark. Some researchers link this to cognitive flexibility, the brain adapting to non-traditional rhythms. If you've ever had your clearest ideas at midnight, you're probably not broken. You just run on a different clock. In a room full of people, the high IQ individual is often the quietest one. They're watching social dynamics, reading emotional cues, collecting information. Then, when they do speak, it lands differently. This isn't shyness, it's strategic processing. Not in a dramatic existential crisis kind of way, just a quiet question that never fully goes away. Why do people think this way? What's really going on here? Does any of this actually matter? High intelligence brings a heightened awareness of complexity in people, in systems, in life, and that awareness tends to turn into a lifelong search for deeper understanding. Intelligence was never really about grades or test scores or having the right answers fast. At its core, it's a brain that stays curious, one that keeps questioning, keeps observing, keeps looking for the pattern beneath the pattern. So if you recognized yourself in this list, that quiet, overthinking, always curious version of you, maybe that's not something to fix. Maybe that's exactly how a sharp mind is supposed to feel. Which of these habits felt most like you? Drop it in the comments. And if this one made you think, you already know what to do.